be a master of Pokemon. Do you have the skills to be number one? I wanna take the ultimate step, find the courage to be Pokemon, to risk it all and not forget the lessons that I hold.
Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 109 of the Pokemon Snapshot. How are you doing tonight, Josh?
I'm pretty good, Jeff. You know how it goes on a Friday night when you're old and have nothing to do.
This is why we record on Friday nights. We are both just have nothing to do. We are doing something this weekend though, so I'm excited. But before we
fun.
get going with our recording, I just want to let everyone know we're under a severe thunderstorm watch where I live in Michigan. And so if the thunder gets picked up on the mic, I'm sorry. I'm hoping it won't. I don't hear it right now, so it might have passed us. My puppy, though, this is her first thunderstorm, and she's not a fan.
Sounds about right. But if the thunder don't get you, then the lightning will.
Yes.
Those are song lyrics.
Okay. I thought there was something. I thought maybe you were making a Pikachu reference.
I was not. No.
So what have you been up to?
Well, if you've listened to the show before, you know that I'm like a garbage disposal for garbage television. And so my wife and I have been watching the newest season of Love is Blind. So it's proper trash.
Isn't it like season 10 now or something?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's been going for a while.
Well, it hasn't. I think they do 2 seasons a year. So
Okay. Like Survivor.
Yeah, basically. Speaking of what you've been watching.
Yes, speaking of Survivor, I've been watching Survivor, which also does 2 seasons a year, which is why they are on season 50, which if you don't follow Survivor, it's all past players, which is fun. So in the Survivor fandom, people complain about returnee seasons. I think it's interesting. I think it is an interesting dynamic to get all these people together who have played before.
Yeah, because they know like strategies and stuff.
They know strategies and they know each other and they know how each other played. Except for this season, there are 2 people on season 49 who are on this season who played, but their season would not have aired when this season filmed.
Wow.
Because this season filmed like 2 weeks after season 49. They usually do the 2 seasons back to back and then airs them. But it's been fun. I just want to say my 2 favorite people I was excited to see play again are teaming up together as an alliance, and it makes me so happy.
Wow. This is like your perfect season.
So we shall see how that goes. I am excited to see who wins the season. It's only 2 episodes in, so we shall see. But yeah, that's really it. Let's get on because we have lots of Pokemon news, weird Pokemon news. I must say.
It's a strange week in Pokemon.
It's a strange week. The first thing I am going to share my screen for those of you watching on YouTube. That the first thing is that Inso Rings have come up with a new Pokemon lineup. The Inso Rings are silicone rings. I actually, if I can hold it up to my, have an Inso ring.
Is that your wedding ring?
It's my wedding ring because here's why I have an Inso ring as my wedding ring. So my original wedding ring, I lost 8 years after being married. I was proud of myself for keeping it for 8 years. I think what happened is it got tied up when I was taking out the trash and it fell off and I didn't realize it fell off. And so it was gone. So instead of getting me, Jesse just ordered me these 2 cheap ones.
Nice.
Well, in the last year, I have lost around 50 pounds. And so I lost both the cheap wedding rings because they fell off my finger and I couldn't find them.
Nice.
Because she got the same size of what my previous ring was. So yeah, losing that weight, my ring size went down a size. And then I saw an advertisement for Pokemon Inso Rings, and Inso Rings actually was on Shark Tank way back in the day. I didn't know that until I went to their website. So it's a reputable company. I ordered one and it says I Choose You, has like some fun designs on it, and then the inside is red, and so there's an outline of a Charmander.
Oh, I'm gonna be honest. These rings look pretty sweet.
Yes,
I don't know if I would wear one, but they look good.
Yeah, I like my silicone rings, so I looked at these and so for those of you watching, they have Eevee, Vaporeon, Flareon, Jolteon for the evolutions, and the Eevee one is brown, Vaporeon's blue, Flareon's orange, and Jolteon's yellow. They have a Gengar one that's purple, which I really want. And I looked at Jessie and I'm like, I just bought my new wedding ring. She goes, well, you can't get another one until you lose that one. And so I started taking it off to go throw it somewhere.
I like the Jolteon one. If I were gonna get one, that's the one I would get.
Yeah, who knows? I may end up with this Gengar one. And then they also have a Pikachu one, a Mew one, and a Mewtwo one. But they all look really cool. They're silicone, so they're like a rubbery material. You can bend them. I really enjoy my Inso ring, and I would recommend uh, people getting them. All right, going on to our next bit of Pokemon news. An ACE study looked at the last 36 months trends of Pokemon searches, and some of these results are going to surprise you. So, Josh, I know you can see it in front of you if you've gone down, but
Yeah.
it's pretty easy to know what's going to be the number one Google search for Pokemon, right?
It's it's definitely gonna be, a Caterpie, right?
Yeah. No,
No,
guys,
it's gotta be the
it's
Pikachu.
got to be Pikachu, and he was the top searched Pokemon in the
Mhm,
United States for the last 36 months.
mhm.
Number two, Josh, can you tell them who number two is?
A Flamigo, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I mean, I assume it's a flamingo Pokemon. I have no idea what
Yes,
it looks like.
yes. It looks like a flamingo.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
can you guess why it's the number two searched Pokemon in the United States?
Was it a meme or something?
No, it is because people were spelling flamingo wrong.
Oh, hmm. Well, that's not surprising. It doesn't
But
really surprise me.
there's also another one on here so I'm just gonna go down the list of the top 50 real quick. So yeah, Pikachu was number one, Flamigo was number two, then number three was Charizard, number four was Charmeleon, which that is kind of surprising.
That's surprising.
Number five is Squirtle. Number six is Eevee. Number seven is Mewtwo. Number eight is Snorlax. Number nine is Gengar. Number 10 is Ditto. 11 is Bulbasaur. 12 is Charmander. 13 is Graphii, which, again, that's got to be someone misspelling graffiti or something. And
Probably.
then number 14 and 15 is concerning.
Why?
Josh, I want you to first Google what Gardevoir looks like. I actually enjoy Gardevoir, and if they are in the games, I like to go to them. You see
Is it a yeah,
Okay, now look at Lopunny. Google Lopunny.
okay. Alright. Is it a furry thing?
Yes.
Oh. Oh, no.
They are very female-looking Pokemon.
Ah, that's so weird. I
The fact that they are all
and
Generation 1, except for the two misspelling Pokemon, and then these two, yeah,
the 2
that's a
furry ones.
yeah.
And the average monthly searches on these 2 for the Gardevoir was 149,800, so almost 150,000, and for Lopunny is about 145,000. So, that many searches every month for the furry stuff.
The furry stuff. Put that in perspective, the average monthly searches for Pikachu was 685,100.
I don't know what I'm more concerned about, the furry searches for Gardevoir and Lopunny or the misspelling of flamingo. It's like I to be honest with you, I'm more okay with the furry stuff. At at least they at least they're not hurt they're just doing their thing. They're not hurting anybody else. Look at how stupid we are, though. That's just indicative of how dumb we are, people misspelling flamingo.
All right, let's go on to other news today. The next news is Pokemon Pokopia came out yesterday, and I have played about an hour or two of it. And so I'll give probably more detailed review as I'm going through it. But right now, I'm enjoying it. It is very much like Animal Crossing for Pokemon. You get to you get to create different habitats. Your Pokemon show up. They all have different abilities. So, like for example, I found a Squirtle and it taught me how to water gun. So now I can go around watering the plants. And then I found Scyther and it taught me how to cut things down. So I can cut down trees and everything.
So they've just brought back TMs and HMs basically.
Yeah, except you can use as many as you want. You can learn more than 4 moves in this as a Ditto. I guess that makes sense
Nice.
because Ditto does transform. But that's the
Yeah.
thing, you are a Ditto who transforms into a human, and then what you're trying to figure out, is what happened to all the humans in the world. No one knows about the humans.
Oh, interesting.
So, that's been it's been fun. There is one part I am not enjoying so far, and that is when you have to build any buildings, it
Mhm.
takes real time.
Oh, wow.
So, I built, like, my first house for my Pokemon, and it's like, "It'll be ready by 8:25," which was, like, 15 minutes. So it took 15 minutes for that, but then tonight, I built a big building, I built a Pokemon Center, and it just said, "This'll be ready tomorrow." And what I looked is I think it resets at, like, 5 AM Pacific times, but you have different missions where you have to, in order to build the Pokemon Center, I had to be able to find a Pokemon who knew Bulldoze. I found an Onyx. An Onyx was stuck behind a wall, but it was too hard for me to break. So then I had to go find not a Snorlax, a Slowpoke.
Mm.
And the Slowpoke, since he's slow, couldn't make it to where I needed him to be. So I had to build some stairs for him, and then he had to make it rain. And so it's just
Oh,
silly stuff like that.
yeah.
It's a nice, easygoing game, and I'm enjoying it so far. I think my daughter will really enjoy it. She has not
Yeah.
played it yet, but
Yeah. I
I
bought a copy for my nephew. And I'm gonna send it to him because he loves Pokemon.
but yeah, I am enjoying it. All right, Josh, and now I guess
Speaking of combining the last two things we talked about, is it still don't know how to say it because I'm stupid. Pocop
Pokopia. I've heard both ways, so I'm not really
uh,
sure.
Pocopia and how dumb we are. Tell us about this next piece of news, or
All right.
this hard hitting breaking news here, Jeff.
All right. So this morning, Josh, the last 3 weeks we've recorded on a Friday instead of a Thursday. We've had news
I
that's
know,
hit Friday morning. It's like the universe wants us to.
I know.
Uh,
We just have to move to Fridays from now
well,
on. It's not like we're doing anything anyway. So tell us what happened, Jeff.
all right. So this morning, the White House Twitter account, and I don't know, probably on other socials, I saw it on Twitter, tweeted out an image using Pocopia's font and background that said, "Make America Great Again."
Oh, now like this is not the first time politicians have tried to use Pokemon. Like Hillary Clinton said that
Pokemon go to the
Pokemon
polls.
go to the polls. It's like out of touch boomers
The,
trying to like relate to the children, but that is not legally actionable.
no, yeah,
Her-
the difference between what Hillary Clinton did is she was saying a phrase.
yeah,
It's just like if I wanted to just use a phrase of someone else and as my campaign slogan that they're known for
right.
saying. It's
Yeah,
tacky, but
yeah. I wish this dude would just Pokemon go away.
yes. But no, it used Pokemon's font and the image straight from their advertising. To the point that Pokemon even put out a statement, and I'm going to read the statement. It says, and this was from BBC, "We were not involved in its creation or distribution, and no permission was granted for the use of our intellectual property," said Pokemon spokeswoman Sravantha Dev. "Our mission is to bring the world together, and that mission is not affiliated with any political viewpoint or agenda."
About says it all. What else have we got going on
Well,
between
and
the
before
Trump
this
administration?
isn't the first
Oh,
time within the last year that Trump administration has done this.
what was the other thing?
The Department of Homeland Security's um, put out a video about ICE. It used the "Gotta Catch 'Em All" theme song.
Yeah. Oh, dude. These people, man.
Yeah, but this next piece of news is Pokemon adjacent. It's not directly, but we thought it fit in well with this last piece of news, so we were going to talk about it. And that is that Nintendo is suing Trump over the unlawful tariffs.
And Nintendo is not the only company. There are like
No.
a bunch of different companies that are suing. I think Costco was the first big company to sue, and then a bunch of other companies joined. Nintendo just didn't they announce it today?
Yeah, I'd have to look when you text me about it because I did not see this, but the article I looked up was from like 2 hours before you text me. So
Okay.
it's
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was announced today.
uh but here's the thing. Nintendo has every right. Like these tariffs screwed up a console launch for them.
Yeah.
If you remember
And
when the Switch 2 was announced, they had to go and put out, we are not going to reveal any information for price or anything for the United States because we don't know what tariffs are going to do.
yeah, so if you're mad about having to pay more for consoles, you should be mad at the United States government and the leaders, specifically Trump, because he is the leader.
Uh, and I just one quick thing, Nintendo did tell IGN, we can confirm that we filed a request. We have nothing else to share on this topic.
Hmm. Yeah, they're not going to be talking about legal matters. So before we go on, I had originally put this later in the episode. It's very fitting the episode that we're doing today because there is a very Trumpian character in this episode. And so a quick note, if you're still a fan of Trump at this point, first of all, I, I hope you brush your teeth regularly to get that taste of dirt and leather boot out of your mouth. Second of all, you might want to turn this episode off and wait for next week because the majority of this episode will just be making jokes about old DJT. So if you are still a big Trump guy,
Or
yeah,
gal.
oh yeah, sorry, I can't leave out the ladies. If you're a big Trump guy or gal, you might want to go recede into your little safe space, you snowflake.
But don't turn off the episode. Just let it run so we can at least get the view.
Yeah. Yeah, go with that.
The view or the listen, whether you're on a podcast app or YouTube.
So what about our question of the week from last week, Jeff?
All right, our question of the week last week was, how do you handle storms? And we had two answers. First was from Flipface4 on YouTube. He said, or she, I love storms. I'd always take time to sit out on the porch and watch the rain pour. I'm absolutely a cozy type and had a lot of power outages as a kid, so we're always prepared. Now, my partner may not have the same opinion due to living in Puerto Rico. Yeah, Puerto Rico gets some storms. I would
Yeah, they
not.
do.
I do not. I would not want to live anywhere tropical.
I would It wouldn't even be the storms for me. I like storms as long as they're just thunderstorms. Once they cross into tornado territory, I'm out. Um, but I like storms, but I couldn't go to Puerto Rico because I would burn to a crisp after
That
like 10 seconds in the sun.
that too. Josh and I, if it was just our skin, it would just be a shiny white light.
You'd have to wear sunglasses, but not because the sun was shining.
And then Kate also answered our question of the week, and she said, I'm a lifelong New Englander. We have nor'easters, blizzards, hurricanes, and tornadoes pretty much every year. I take them seriously, but also am usually unfazed. We had an 18-inch snowstorm followed by a 7-inch one over a couple of weeks. I fill the bathtub with water in case we lose power. I have easy to eat food, but then I just handle whatever happens. The only storm that will freak me out was the tornado, which was following my kid's bus up the road. I had to run them home from the bus stop, and quite infamously, I have been hit by lightning when I was a tween. Storms don't bother me, but I do prepare accordingly.
Did we know that she's been struck by lightning?
I feel like I've heard her say that story, and I don't know if
Okay.
like, it sounds familiar because
Okay.
I also saw them when, of course, Kate's been struck by lightning. Like anything Kate tells me now, I'm not phased.
No, it gave her the power to like turn back time, and that's why she's lived as many different lives as she has.
Well, speaking of Kate, that leads us to our next segment.
Education.
He's got his voice back, folks.
But I had to lower it a little bit because it's still cracking, like, when I get a little bit higher. Like, I can't sing right now because it hasn't fully healed, it's kinda bad.
All right, we actually had quite a few with Kate. I mentioned to Kate in our Discord, I love when she's watching the episodes because she just like live comments her thoughts, and then I just go in and I add them to our outline to talk about. Her first thing she said is, also, I feel you on the accent, Josh. No one gets Boston area accents correct except maybe Kinnear's version of JFK, and it always bugs me.
Greg Kinnear, I think is who she's talking about.
Kinnear? Sorry, I
Yeah.
don't know who that is. Uh, sorry. I do also want to say Flip Phase 4 on one of our YouTube shorts this week. When one of the one that came out on Thursday was you ranting about Southern accents.
Oh, nice.
And they commented that when I heard you ranting, I went, it can't be that bad. And then I heard it.
It's so true.
Uh, our next bit of education, she said, and you are correct, Jeff. It's ideal to connect the grounding clips first for jumper cables. It's not likely to hurt you if you don't, but it's safer to attach the grounding one first. She also said, with electricity, volts can kill you if high enough and if it passes through your chest, but amperage is what is usually lethal. So
She knows an awful lot about electricity, having been struck by lightning.
it gave her the power. And then the last bit of information she gave me was the first Flintstone movie was filmed at Vesca's Rock, just north of LA. I went there back in 1992 and explored the whole area. It's a very cool place if you don't mind heat. It was borderline too hot for me in December during the day.
I was 2 years old when you made that trip. Okay.
92, that would have been around the time they were filming the first Flintstones, because I believe it came out in 94. All right, so don't forget you can follow us on Twitter at Pokemon Snapshot or send us an email at thepokemonsnapshot@gmail.com. You can also find us on YouTube and TikTok. Just search for the Pokemon Snapshot. We post short clips on both platforms, and if you'd rather watch the full episode, the complete video is available on our YouTube channel. And if you're enjoying the show, leave us a rating on your favorite listing app so other Pokemon fans can discover the podcast. All right, Josh, lead us into our next segment.
Previously on Pokemon.
All right, so last week, on their way to the Trovita gym, Ash and the gang somehow cross an island that apparently contains every climate zone known to man, beaches, forests, and now a full-blown desert. Before getting caught in a lightning storm, the storm introduces them to Ethan, a cowboy-esque Magnemite rancher who we may or may not to refer as John Wayne, whose
We did.
we did,
We did.
whose entire power grid strategy is basically chasing thunderstorms with a wagon and a Jolteon acting as a Magnemite sheepdog. When Team Rocket tries to steal the living generators with magnets and static-powered nonsense machines, Ash volunteers, with the confidence only a wildly unqualified 10-year-old can have, to deliver 9 Magnemite to a blackout-stricken town. Naturally, things go off the rails when Magnemite scatter like distracted middle schoolers. Number 6 wanders off again, and Team Rocket returns with their plastic sheet electromagnetic contraption. But the day is saved when number 6 evolves into Magneton and the group blasts Team Rocket off once again before finally restoring power and continuing their long, long trek towards Trovita.
Not bad, Jeff.
Thank
Great
you.
as always.
I try. So let's go into this week's episode, which this week's episode is titled The Mystery Menace, or as it was known in Japanese, The Monster of the Underpass?
I don't understand the question mark at the end of that one.
I don't either, but there was a question mark.
It wasn't needed. It was like somebody dropped something on the keyboard as they were putting out the title card or typing up the title card.
This episode aired on June 24th, 1999 in Japan and on May 6th, 2000 in the United States. And just to put you into what time this episode came out, the top movie at the box office that week was Gladiator.
Great movie.
So, Josh, you're a music guy, and I realize there are 2 top lists, both by Billboard, and they have different songs, and I don't understand. There's the top 40 and then the top 100. Which list am I supposed to use?
I would look at top 40 is because usually it's like the top 40 that they, I don't know, Casey Kasem used to talk about, I think. I don't really know what the different criteria is.
Okay,
I
well,
wonder if hold on.
I tried to Google it. I could not find an answer. Because the top of the charts on the Hot 100 this week was Maria Maria by Santana. But then I believe on the top 40, Bye 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 was still leading the charts. Maybe I'll just start mentioning them both if they're different.
The Hot 100 covers 100 positions, while Top 40 represents only the uppermost played tier. That's just according to Google AI, and I have no idea what that means. Kate, help us out. We're stupid.
We'll just go with that. And something I can't believe I didn't think about doing before. I also want to talk about notable video games that came out the week of the episode. I
How
think that'd
did
be
we not
fun.
think of that?
I don't know. So the week this episode came out, we had on April 30th, you had the game Four Wheel Thunder for Dreamcast, and I just stole these from someone who actually made a spreadsheet of all the notable video game releases that went like back to 1994. I don't know why they
Nice.
chose 1994 to start at, but they did. It works where we are. And then also on April 30th, Wild Arms 2 for the PlayStation 2 came
I have
out.
no idea what that is.
Wild Arms was a PlayStation 1 RPG that people love. And so the
Mhm.
sequel came out on PlayStation 2. And May 5th, Metal Gear Ghost Babel came out for Game Boy Color, which I hear the Game Boy Color Metal Gear games are pretty good. I've actually never played a Metal Gear game.
Oh, they're good. They're very good. So honestly, probably like a top 3, maybe 5 series for me.
Yeah, they've come out with Metal Gear. Well, they just did the 3 remake and 1 and 2, and there's also the 1, 2, and 3 combo pack you can get.
Yeah.
And they just announced 4 and Peace Walker coming out. So you can play them all on like the PlayStation 5 now.
Yeah. I highly suggest them.
All right, Josh, let's get into the episode.
This is the Mystery Menace. As the episode begins, Ash is once again thinking about food, and I feel like they've started like the last 6 episodes with Ash just being hungry, which kind of reminds me of my earliest fake Facebook statuses from back in the day. Maybe I've talked about this before, but I don't get on Facebook anymore, but a couple of years, well, at this point, it's probably like 8 years ago. But I decided to go all the way back to the very beginning of my Facebook just to see what was 16-year-old Josh like, what was going through his mind. And out of the first like 20 statuses that I made, it was some form of Josh is hungry. Josh wants food. Which
It's
isn't much
crazy.
different from today, but
Yeah. It's crazy when I think about back in the day for Facebook, for you young kids out there, your statuses, you couldn't just post whatever. They had to have the word is them.
It was like what you were actively doing or how you were actively feeling.
My favorite part is looking at my Facebook history, and that would be like this day, but you only get what someone said to you. You never get the other half of the conversation because comments weren't a thing. So your half of the conversation is on their wall.
Yep. After like half a season traversing this island, they finally made it to Trovitopolis, but spoiler alert, just kidding. No, they haven't. The narrator pops in to tell us that something sinister lurks just below the surface of the city, which means it's time to roll the title card.
The Mystery Menace!
Nearby, Team Rocket spies on Team Ash, saying that Team Ash is headed for their high-tech hole, which is basically the premise of the show Westworld. Meowth goes on to explain their plan. And Jeff, can we get audio of Meowth describing their hole?
They have no idea that they're headed for our new high-tech home.
We finally came up with the plan for the perfect pit. First, we dug the hole and planted the dynamite right underneath where Pikachu is. All we do is push the plunger, the ground collapses, and we got Pikachu trapped. I think I can say without fear of contradiction that we are completely and totally prepared.
Prepared?
Prepared.
Ha! Prepare for trouble.
Oh, I say make it double.
What's the idea!
Why'd you stop us?
What do you want to give those little brats fair warning for? Let's make this a sneak attack.
Well, you didn't have to be so rough. Here goes nothing.
So as you can hear, as Team Rocket begins their motto, Meowth stops them to avoid tipping off Team Ash. James presses the plunger, but in typical Team Rocket fashion, the bomb detonates underneath their own feet and they plummet into the abyss. Team Ash hears Team Rocket's screams just as the ground beneath them also crumbles and they fall into the sewers below. Unfortunately, everyone survives, although Not Brock lands headfirst in a pile of some unknown substance, and our problems were nearly solved.
I want to go back to this scene because right before they fall, Not Brock says, "Why would anyone be screaming?" And in my notes, I wrote down, he probably says that every time he meets a girl.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And every time I turn on an episode and it's him and not the actual Brock.
And then I just was hoping maybe we're rid of him. Maybe Ash and Missy just leave him there.
No, unfortunately not.
No, they rescue him.
The unknown substance, by the way, is poop because they're in the sewers. Just a big old pile of dookie. The familiar cave music from the games plays as Team Ash searches for a manhole cover, which is basically the premise of the Magic Mike movies. Throughout the sewer, a shadow that sounds like a single jingle bell stalks Team Ash. Eventually, a strange-looking green vine taps Ash on the shoulder, and I won't spoil it yet, but my initial thought for what this vine looks like turned out to be correct, and it's pretty stupid.
Here's the thing about this episode. At this point, there are only 151 Pokemon, with a couple that have been revealed from Johto. So that really narrows down what this vine could be. Like, you don't have a whole group to choose, very many to choose from if you're going to show the vine.
Yeah. Ash thinks it's Pikachu tapping him on the shoulder, but Pikachu is standing right in front of him. Misty freaks out, pointing at the creepy vine monster coming out of the dookie water below.
They're all screaming about a monster, but isn't that what Pokemon literally is?
Yeah, I had the same thought.
These things are all monsters. It's in the name. Pocket monsters.
Mm-hmm. Ash, terrible under pressure, begins to have Pikachu electroshock the monster and kill everyone, but Misty reminds him how water affects electricity, so Ash throws out Bulbasaur to use Razor Leaf. The vine monster wraps up Bulbasaur and drags it down to a watery grave, but to Ash's credit, he tries to follow it down, but the rest of Team Ash is like, don't worry about it.
Poor Bulbasaur being pulled into the poop water.
Just then, Officer Jenny uncovers Magic Mike's manhole to rescue Team Ash and promptly throws them in jail. This is why you never trust the fuzz.
I really hate the nepotism with the Pokemon police force. Most Jennies are just incompetent at their job. Like, these are children, and her first thought is, well, let's throw them in jail.
Yeah, what are we doing? This is Kanto. They don't throw children. What? They don't throw children in jail. What do they think this was? America?
Well, and this also, I believe, isn't the first time Jenny's just thrown them in jail. I believe remember the breeding center secret? I believe they were also thrown in jail in that episode too by Officer Jenny.
Yeah, she's a real ask questions later kind of policewoman. From their cell, Ash beats on the door, yelling at his Bulbasaur until Officer Jenny shows up to set them free, citing a misunderstanding from all the weird stuff that's been going on in town. Suddenly, a skeezy-looking dude shows up who turns out to be none other than the mayor of Trovitopolis. I don't know his actual name, but for the remainder of this episode, I will be referring to him as President Donald J. Trump.
I made the same connections, and to answer your question, he doesn't have a name. He's just called the mayor. In both the English and the Japanese version, they didn't care to give him a name.
Mm-hmm.
Officer Jenny had the same thought whenever he shows up, and she goes, "What a pleasant surprise, Mr. Mayor."
President Trump tries to stop Officer Jenny from releasing the Epstein files. Oh, sorry, I read that wrong. Tries to stop Officer Jenny from releasing Team Ash, but even the cop knows that that's a violation of their rights. Then President Trump tries to restrict their freedom of speech by saying they're not allowed to talk about the sewer monster. Not Brock, a true free speech warrior, objects to this, while Ash, a true liberal, only cares about his big money donors, or at least only cares about getting his Bulbasaur back. President Trump says if they breathe a word about the monster, he'll have them arrested in silence. And I'm pretty sure that's not the first time that Trump has threatened the life of a child. Officer Jenny explains there have been other incidents in the city. Jeff, can you explain to the people what's been going on recently?
Yeah, so Officer Jenny explains that there has been a mysterious sightings around town, but mainly just stolen food such as pizza and hot dogs, so a real criminal here. And Trump is worried that if the news gets out, people will panic and he won't be reelected.
It feels too real. Now in the Oval Office, Team Ash, Officer Jenny, and President Trump stand in front of the president's insignia, which is painted on the wall. Can you put a picture up of this for the folks on YouTube, Jeff? And then can you also describe it for everyone else?
It's just a blue diamond with a red bold-faced M in front of it.
Yeah, it's not a very good insignia. I'm like, any kind of like evil politician needs to put more thought into their branding, I feel like.
Well, and what does the M stand for? Because
Mayor?
I guess, but we will learn later that he had this as a child.
Yeah. Maybe he's just always dreamt of being the mayor.
Maybe.
Officer Jenny explains that there are 500 miles of sewers below the city, which makes it roughly the size of Greenwood, Indiana. So when I heard this, I was like, 500 miles of sewers doesn't seem like that much. So just out of curiosity, I looked up how many miles of sewers there are under other cities. So under New York City, there are 7,500 miles, according to their State of the Sewers report that they put out in 2023. So, I pulled up the State of the Sewers report, and I'm going to read a quote from a section of the report called "Trash It, Don't Flush It." It says, quote, New York City needs the help of all its residents to keep our sewer system functioning properly. So DEP continues to promote our Trash It, Don't Flush It campaign to warn New Yorkers of the hazards of flushing grease, wipes, and other trash down the drain. The campaign has garnered millions of impressions and website visits. Door-to-door outreach efforts have reached more than 50,000 people, and DEP also regularly conducts grease compliance inspections at food service establishments citywide. So it's pretty funny to me that this is such a widespread problem, people flushing God knows what down the drain, that they have to get like flyers and go door to door to tell people there are only two things you should be flushing down the toilet. A number one and a number two. And the toilet paper, and that's it. After all this, I got tired of fact checking. So the rest of these numbers are just what Google AI gave me. If you really want to go out there and fact check me, please feel free. But you should already know, just like these sewers, what I'm full of. Under Los Angeles, we've got about 4,600 miles of sewers. Under Chicago, 4,500 miles. Under Birmingham, Alabama, where I live, 3,500 miles. And Detroit, it's not where Jeff lives, but it's in Michigan, so close enough. There's about 3,000 miles.
Josh, can I just say, I'm really proud of you for actually doing research.
Thank you. Someone recognizes the blood, sweat, and tears that I put into this show.
It is funny, you guys. If you ever start a podcast, you will try to research the most random things, even if they have nothing to do originally with your podcast. And I will say I was interested. So you said 500 miles is about what Greenwood, Alabama is, or Indiana. And Greenwood, Indiana has an approximate population of 70,000 people, to put that into perspective.
Okay, yeah. Trovitopolis is definitely a bigger city, so I think they were just making something up when they said 500. Or the people just don't poop that much. I don't know. Maybe they have a very lean diet, not a lot of fat in their diet.
I do want to say, going back to the trash it, don't flush it, 50,000 people in New York City, that's not a very big amount of the population.
Do you want to know something else gross I learned in my State of the Sewers report?
Sure.
Research?
Did you read the whole thing?
Oh, no, it's like 12 pages long. I wasn't about to read 12 pages, Joe. But no, under New York City, from all the like grease and stuff people pour into the pipes, they get these things called they call them fatbergs, like icebergs, but fatbergs. And it's it's all the coagulated grease. And it blocks the flow of water in the sewers under New York City.
I mean, that makes perfect sense because have you ever accidentally like put grease down your own drain?
Oh yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
The previous owner of my house did that, so they had to like basically install new pipes, and there was just tons of fat, like grease in the pipes. It was gross. President Trump is freaking out about losing an election fairly, and at this point, I can't tell if Pokemon predicted the future or if they spoke it into existence. In any case, he's trying to stop the public from finding out that he's letting monsters run free below the city. When Nurse Joy shows up to blow the whistle on President Trump's plan to send armed thugs into the sewers to blow the monster away. This isn't even a joke. The dude really has his own army of armed bootlicking thugs. We're going to call them ICE. New Jersey objects. New Jersey, Lord. So in the script, I abbreviated Nurse Joy as NJ, and every time I look at it in my head, I'm like, don't call it New Jersey, don't call it New Jersey, don't call it New Jersey, but I called it New Jersey. Nurse Joy objects to them killing a potentially new kind of Pokemon instead of catching and studying it. When Team Ash and Officer Jenny join in her protest, President Trump throws an absolute hissy fit. Jeff, can we get audio of his little temper tantrum right here, please?
Any talk of any such plan is pure speculation. There's no proof.
Mr. Mayor, if there is such a plan, it's illegal. The police don't know anything about it.
Enough! I am the mayor, and I am the one who's responsible for this city, and I will do as I see fit!
There are at least like 40 tweets from the actual president that are almost word for word the temper tantrum in this episode.
He also gets a little misogynistic here because he tells this, he goes, "You just run your Pokemon Center and let me run the city."
At that Pokemon Center, Team Ash checks in with Professor Oak, who wants to save the possible new Pokemon. So they devise a plan to stop President Trump. And you know, I don't mean to get all Pokemon Anon on you here, Jeff, but I'm starting to think that maybe these little liberal 10-year-olds are conspiring against the greatest president that this world has ever seen. You heard it here first, folks. Ash is the enemy of the people. As Team Ash walks through the city, they see hundreds of campaign posters and a statue that President Trump has erected of himself in the middle of town. I don't think the real president has actually made a statue of himself yet, but just give it time. He's already added his name to like half the buildings in Washington. So it's only a matter of time.
You keep stealing my jokes. I had the same note in mine. And I don't know which is worse, making statues of yourself or putting your name on already historical buildings.
Nearby, President Trump instructs ICE on how to properly murder both immigrants and Cantonian citizens. Sorry, I read that wrong. I just having reading problems today, Jeff. I don't know what's going on. What I meant was he instructs them on how to apprehend the mysterious vine monster. Meanwhile, Team Ash begins their descent into the sewers, and that takes us into...
Who's that Pokemon?
All right, and our Who's That Pokemon for this week is... Magneton.
I didn't do it this time. I didn't interrupt.
You did not. I also put up my finger to make sure you didn't interrupt.
I didn't even see it.
All right, some basic... Magneton, who also in Japanese is known as Rare Coil.
It's an all right name. Magneton is a cooler name, though.
Yeah. I think because Magnemite's Japanese name is Coil.
Okay.
Some basic information on Magneton. It's number 82 in the Pokedex. It is an electric and steel type. It is 3 foot 3 inches tall and weighs 132.3 pounds, and it is known as the Magnet Pokemon. It does evolve into Magnezone when leveled up in a specific magnetic field or when exposed to a thunderstorm stone, depending on what game you're in.
I didn't know there was another evolution.
Yeah, I believe it came in Generation 5. They added one on.
Okay.
And if you leveled it up near the specific rock then it evolved into Magnezone, but then it got to other games that like, we don't have this rock, so let's just make it evolve with the Thunderstone. Some origin on Magneton. Its name, Magneton's English name, is a combination of magnet, a material or object that produces a magnetic field, and on, a scientific suffix often associated with particles like electron, proton, and neutron. The name reflects both its magnetic nature and its scientific mechanical identity. The on ending gives it a technical, almost atomic feel, fitting for a Pokemon composed of 3 Magnemite linked together through strong magnetic force. It's
I always assumed it was ton because the thing weighed a ton.
Oh, well, now you know. See, you always learn something.
I know.
Its Japanese name, Magneton's Japanese name is Rare Coil, or if you do the Japanese Romanize, it's Ryako. I hate trying to say these Japanese words.
Ryakaru?
Ryakoru, which is Romanized as Rare Coil. This name combines rare, referring to rare earth metals, which are often used in the production of strong magnets, and coil, referencing electromagnetic coils used in motors and generators. The name leans heavily into electrical engineering terminology. Rather than focusing simply on magnetism, the Japanese name highlights the magnetic coil structure, which visually resembles Magnemite's body in the way the 3 units connect. What is Magneton based off of? Its primary concept is linked magnets and magnetic fields. Magneton is literally 3 Magnemite fused together through strong magnetic force. This reflects how magnets can attract and cluster, magnetic fields interact and overlap, and electromagnetic units can synchronize. Its design visually represents field amplification, 3 magnetic sources working in unison to produce stronger output. Electromagnetic coil also is based off electromagnetic coils in industrial hardware. Magneton's Japanese name, Rare Coil, confirms heavy inspiration from electromagnetic coils used in motors and generators, as I said before, and rare earth metals known for extreme magnetic strength. The visible screws, metallic structure, and hovering behavior reinforce that it's modeled after industrial electrical components, not a natural organism. And then there's the magnetic levitation and EM phenomenon. Magneton floats using magnetism, which ties into magnetic levitation concepts, polarity interaction in industrial power systems. Pokedex entries often mention it appearing near power plants, further anchoring it to real-world electrical infrastructure. That was a mouthful.
Yeah. Well, I just looked at the whole thing and you got a couple more mouthfuls to go.
Yeah, I know. Magneton is I mean, we've had a couple of short ones, so buckle up, kids. This is
Settle in, folks.
This is a big one. Magneton's biology. Magneton is a mechanical robot-like Pokemon formed when 3 Magnemite become linked together by a powerful magnetic force. While this fusion typically occurs when multiple Magnemite are nearby, a single Magnemite can still evolve into Magneton even in isolation. Each Magnemite within Magneton has a gray spherical body with a single eye and a red and blue tipped horseshoe magnet on either side. In its most common configuration, one Magnemite sits on top while the other 2 connect beneath it by their screws, forming a triangular shape. The top unit usually has 3 visible Phillips head screws, while the lower 2 appear to have only 2. In some depictions, particularly in 3D games like Pokemon Snap, the 3 Magnemite are not physically connected. Instead, they hover in a triangular formation and can shift positions freely within one another's magnetic field. In these cases, all 3 units display 3 screws. The magnetic force binding them is incredibly strong, capable of drying up moisture and raising the surrounding temperature by 3.6 degrees Fahrenheit or 2 degrees Celsius within a radius of up to 3,300 feet, 1 kilometer. Magneton's electromagnetic output can interfere with electronic devices and even cause earaches. It also emits powerful radio waves that analyze its surroundings. Magneton can levitate using anti-gravitational magnetic forces. Because it consists of 3 Magnemite, its electrical output is roughly tripled, though the intelligence does not increase proportionally. This
it it gets more powerful, but stays equally stupid.
Despite its artificial appearance, Magneton still requires sustenance, as shown in Pokemon the Series episode The Spokesman. It feeds on electrical currents. It is commonly found in rough terrain and near power plants where electricity is abundant. Magneton appears more frequently during periods of increased solar activity, such as sunspot flares, likely due to its fluctuation in the sun's magnetic field. It is also known to gather in elevated areas during rainstorms, where lightning strikes are more common. In the 11th chapter of Pokemon Adventures, it demonstrates the ability to shape its electrical into platforms and barriers. In Pokemon Horizons, the series episode The Future I Choose, it disrupts phone and internet signals. And in An Unexpected Picnic, a group of Magneton generates an EMP powerful enough to damage computer software. Although it resembles a modern machine, Magneton's existence dates back thousands of years. Carvings of it have been discovered in the ruins of Alph, and Pokemon Generations episode The Redemption depicts Magneton during the Great War of Kalos 3,000 years ago. The Paradox Pokemon Sandy Shocks is believed to resemble an ancient Magneton from 10,000 years in the past. In Pokemon Sleep, Magneton is shown resting with its 3 Magnemite either tightly linked or gently drifting apart, suggesting its magnetism becomes unstable while it sleeps. You know, Magneton's kind of an interesting Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm sitting here like, I always hated those stupid things, but now I'm like, these things are kind of neat.
Some Pokedex entries on Magneton. Red and Blue says, formed by several Magnemites linked together, they frequently appear when sunspots flare up. Pokemon Yellow says, generates strange radio signals. It raises the temperature by 3.6 degrees Fahrenheit within 3,300 feet. And isn't that like just that little bit of raising temperature can really mess with the atmosphere? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Pokemon Stadium says, formed by Magnemite that link together when the number of black spots on the sun increases. Fires high voltage power, etc. Hold on, Pokemon Stadium. You usually
You
need to list.
can't just etc that. You can't just etc high voltage power.
Don't you need at least 2 things, then an etc.? You can't just etc. after the one. You're the English teacher, Josh.
Yeah, you can't etc one thing. It's not an etc.
Pokemon Gold says 3 Magnemite are linked by a strong magnetic force. Earaches will occur if you get too close. Pokemon Silver says the Magnemite are united by a magnetism so powerful it dries all moisture in its vicinities. Pokemon Crystal says when many Magnemite gather together, the resulting magnetic storm disrupts radio waves. Pokemon Ruby says Magneton emits a powerful magnetic force that is fatal to mechanical devices. As a result, large cities sound sirens to warn citizens of a large-scale outbreak of the Pokemon. So like a tornado siren before Magneton. But wouldn't Magneton stop the siren from going off?
Yeah, they would stop I guess it's like the crank ones. The
yeah. It was just one guy every time. He's like the Paul Revere of the towns. The Magneton are coming. The Magneton are coming. He runs up into the top of the tower and starts cranking.
That's pretty funny.
Pokemon Sapphire says, Magneton emits a powerful magnetic force that is fatal to electronics and precision instruments. Because of this, it is said that some towns warn people to keep this Pokemon inside a Pokeball. So I guess some information about a Pokeball there. It's strong enough to disrupt a Magneton's waves or whatever. Pokemon Platinum says many mysteriously appeared when more sunspots dot the sun. They stop TV sets from displaying property. A Pokemon Sun says when 3 Magnemite link together, their brains also become one. They do not become 3 times more intelligent. Pokemon Sun is like, they're just as stupid, guys.
Yep.
Pokemon Moon says it has about 3 times the electrical power of Magnemite. For some reason, outbreaks of this Pokemon happen when lots of sunspots appear. Ultra Sun says delicate equipment can malfunction in areas inhabited by Magneton, which sends out mysterious electrical signals. Ultra Moon says when rain clouds form, many Magneton gather in high places and wait for lightning to strike. A Pokemon Sword says this Pokemon is 3 Magnemite that have linked together. Magneton sends out powerful radio waves to study its surroundings. Pokemon Shield says this Pokemon is constantly putting out a powerful magnetic force. Most computers go haywire when a Magneton approaches. Legends Arceus says 3 Magnemite gather to evolve into this Pokemon, the source of much vexation on my part as its powerful magnetism destroys my research equipment. I love how Legends Arceus is just written by the point of view of one guy.
Yeah.
I really like how they did that, because then they did Legends ZA and they just steal Pokedex entries from some other games. And then
Lazy.
Pokemon Sleep says the three Magnemite are usually linked by a strong magnetic force. They have been spotted sleeping, stuck together, and drifting apart. Perhaps their magnetism is unstable during sleep. And then a bit of trivia on Magneton. In the Pokemon Red and Blue beta, Magneton was originally known as Recoil, so close to Rare Coil. Again, because I think in the beta, Magnemite was just Coil. And then Magneton in its pre-evolved form were the first Pokemon to ever change types with the progress of generations, because when Generation 2 came out, it became a Steel type.
Mm.
And that is our Who's That Pokemon segment on Magneton.
Who's that Pokemon?
In the sewers below, Team Rocket is starting to think those turds floating by are starting to look pretty good, like a reverse Caddyshack, when the Vine Monster shows up, causing Team Rocket to hightail it out of there. If you don't get that Caddyshack joke, you're probably too young to watch that movie anyway.
I don't get that Caddyshack joke, and I'm definitely not too young.
You should watch it. It's a great movie. Don't watch it with the kids, though. They hear a sound nearby as figures shine a flashlight their way. So James has Wheezing cast smokescreen, and they flee like Republicans from a town hall meeting. The figures, which were Ash, Not Brock, and Misty, hack up a lung from the smokescreen, but not before they hear Team Rocket's panicked screams. Misty, realizing Togepi is missing, freaks out, but it's just trying to drown itself in the sewer water. Just as Misty picks it up, the Vine Monster wraps around Togepi, dragging it and Misty to the dookie depths below.
They are going to need to wash themselves for weeks after this.
Ash pulls out a Pokeball, revealing that he had Professor Oak send him his secret sewer weapon, Muck, which coincidentally rhymes with the word I would be using if I had to go trouncing through the sewers. Nothing knows how to navigate a sewer like a giant pile of sentient sludge.
A little fun fact about this episode. This is the only time we see Muck where it's not at Professor Oak's lab or in a Pokemon League battle. I really wish they would have had Muck come, because Muck is an interesting Pokemon. He has a great personality.
Meanwhile, upon hearing a sound, Team Rocket decides that instead of running from the monster, they should scare it back. So they disguise themselves as creatures and run towards the noise, which turns out to be the armed ice agents. From a walkie-talkie, President Trump commands them to open fire, so Ice does what Ice does.
Forget about all the predictions that The Simpsons got right. Pokemon had one shot and nailed it 100%.
I literally had that same thought earlier today about how Pokemon is rivaling The Simpsons for all the predictions. Back in search of Misty, Muck runs into a dead end, but the tunnel continues under the dookie water. So they do what no one else in their right mind would do and hop right in. Just a little dip, just a little dookie dip. When Ash emerges on the other side, he comes face to face with the Vine Monster.
I really hope they all get checked out after this adventure. Ash is going to show up at the next gym battle, and they're just going to give him the badge to leave since he smells so bad.
He's found a loophole in the system. Just go swimming in the sewers, and they just start giving you badges. Meanwhile, ICE reports to President Trump that there could be hundreds of those creatures in the sewer, and I'm pretty sure there are some tweets that aren't that far off from this either.
Okay. Since I keep mentioning the tweets, I want to talk about something here. So I've said on here, I am a professional wrestling fan, and I want you to, if anyone ever gets a chance, to look up Becky Lynch on Twitter. So Becky Lynch, she's actually married to the wrestler Seth Rollins. She plays a character that thinks she's the best in the world. Like, she complains and everything. Things don't go her way. It was her fault, and all that. She parodies Trump in her tweets because she's playing that kind of character. So I'm going to read one to you. So the new WWE game just came out today. So here's an example of one of her tweets after her overall ratings were revealed on WWE 2K26. This is in all caps first. There it is. Fake and rigged ratings. Two-Face 2K has updated their ratings and put Rotten Rhea Ripley ahead of me. I was told QA testers at 2K leaked to Rhea that whenever players played as me, I was too good and very hard to beat, parentheses, like in real life. A cheat code, essentially, parentheses, their words. So she had them lower my ratings to make the game easier for Rhea and others like absolute joke Lee, if you didn't know her name is AJ Lee,
Mm.
to beat me. AJ is even a joke in the video game world too. Those ratings should be lower for her. I already have the Bulldog on the case. 2K Sports, you have a lot to answer for. 4 exclamation points. Like, it's perfect, isn't it?
It's spot on, and it's the thing that she really captures here. And I don't watch wrestling. I've never even heard of this person, but she captures how whiny he is in all of his tweets. People act like, oh, he's such a great man. I'm like, he's the whiniest like little teenager I've ever heard in my entire life. She really captured that in her tweet. So good job,
Yeah, she
Becky.
like, every time I see one of her tweets come up, I go and read it because she plays this character so well. So when she finally, because it's a circular thing, so when she finally turns face and becomes a good guy, I'm gonna be sad because these tweets are gonna go away.
Yeah. Good on you, Becky. Ash comes to in a bed of hay to find that his Bulbasaur is still alive. Misty is there too, but Ash doesn't notice, ruining the chances of that kiss they discussed a few episodes ago. The Vine monster's origin is finally revealed, and it's what I initially thought the Vine was based on its appearance, and it's just a slightly larger Bulbasaur. It's wearing a single jingle bell with the president's insignia on it. Not Brock reasons that the Bulbasaur poke-napped Ash's Bulbasaur and Togepi because it just wanted some friends, and not to victim blame, but I feel like it probably could have just approached Team Ash like a normal person, and it would have saved everyone from freaking out. But if governments are good at anything, it's overreacting and responding with unnecessary force, which is exactly what happens here. President Trump orders ICE to seal off all the manhole covers. Side note, I just got a great idea for Magic Mike XXL. Progressive icon / known domestic terrorist Nurse Joy protests sealing off the sewers because Team Ash is still down there, but President Trump says he'll uncover them as soon as the election is over next week. But we all know how campaign promises go with this guy and all politicians, to be fair.
It doesn't surprise me that possibly murdering children isn't too much of a worry for him.
Not my first time. Ain't my first rodeo. Fortunately for Team Ash, the Trump administration is incompetent at everything, and they did a piss poor job sealing all the sewers. So the waters are forced up through President Trump's golden tub, and Team Ash is freed. President Trump lands on the ground outside in nothing but a towel.
You forgot to mention that he is blown into the air right above a crowd, and they all look up and see something that they will never be able to unsee.
Trump nuts.
Yeah. His little Donald was showing. They have a front row view right up his towel. Like, they're all looking up, and he's just in the air and nothing but a towel.
His Donald Trump Jr. President Trump is confronted by the big Bulbasaur and recognizes the insignia on the bell from when he was a kid. He explains that he abandoned this Bulbasaur in the sewers when he was a kid, which is a wild thing to admit to people. It's like almost but not quite as bad as Christy Noem killing her dog or whatever it was. And like, someone is a sociopath when they already have their own insignia at like 8 years old.
Yeah,
It's
and
like, if a kid is that ambitious at such a young age, like, you got to start putting something in that kid's cereal to slow him down.
Yeah, and it's like I said before, it's just an M, which as I said, I thought stood for mayor, but he had the same insignia as a kid. Well, as the saying goes, short for the moon, and if you miss, you'll land in front of a crowd wearing nothing but a towel.
Bulbasaur lifts President Trump into the air with its vines, making it the strongest Bulbasaur in existence. President Trump throws another tantrum about maintaining his authority when Ice shows up. They prepare to fire, but Team Ash makes like Minneapolis and sends Ice packing. Then Bulbasaur throws President Trump into the sky. It seems like he blasts off like Team Rocket, but he falls to the earth, landing on his own statue and receiving more of a consequence than the real Donald Trump will likely ever get. Sometime later, Nurse Joy and Officer Jenny look towards the future with a new mayor and point Team Ash towards a new adventure on Trovita Island, which I thought we were already on Trovita Island, but apparently we're not. So tune in a few months from now when Team Ash finally makes it to the Trovita gym. As the episode ends, Team Rocket reaches to the sky through the bars of the sewer grate. As they wonder if they'll ever get the smell out of their clothes, the bar breaks and they are freed.
The it doesn't just break, it breaks when Jessie sneezes, which makes no sense. Like she goes, I got a korachu, and then you hear it break. In the original Japanese version, they actually never escape, so I guess they wanted better closure for the English version.
Yeah. The Western audiences needed a happy ending.
And yeah, that's the end of our episode. So Josh, what did you think of this episode?
Yeah, so the Trump jokes in this one were fun, but like the actual episode was, again, just nothing but filler. I give this episode a 5 out of 10, which are the ages that President Trump allegedly likes.
To throw one last one out in there.
Yeah, had to get one in there, yeah.
All right, so yeah, I think this episode would have actually been better without the Trump side story.
Mm-hmm.
Just having Team Ash explore the sewers would be fun, just looking for whatever the monster is. So
Yeah.
I do think I'm slightly higher than you score-wise. I would give it probably about a 6 out of 10.
All right.
All right, and so on to our question of the week. And our question this week is, since they just arrived at Trovitopolis, when you arrive in a new city, what is the first thing you want to check out?
Bathroom.
Bathroom. Long road trip.
Bathroom, yeah.
Sorry, you just made me think of when we went to Disney World and everyone got so mad at us for using the bathroom. You remember that?
Look, they should have gotten their own room.
Yeah, they're
You
like,
don't get to complain if you want to stay in a room with us.
folks, this was a true story. We got to the hotel, we had to use the bathroom, and they're like, use the public one. And I'm like, I am paying $200 a night for this room. Gonna use this bathroom.
I will light a candle or a match, but I'm using this $200 toilet.
Yeah, when I arrive in a new city, I like to look and see what kind of museums are there.
Mm.
Fun stuff.
You're so high class.
I know. Well, they're not always like learning museums. In fact, Jesse, there's a new Universal Park opening in Frisco, Texas. That's for
Mhm.
like kids. And I keep telling Jesse, if we end up going for Universal, we have to go to the National Video Game Museum, which is also in Frisco, Texas.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
All right, so don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter at Pokemon Snapshot or send us an email at thepokemonsnapshot@gmail.com. You can also find us on YouTube and TikTok. Just search for the Pokemon Snapshot. We post short clips on both platforms, and if you'd rather watch the full episode, the complete video is available on our YouTube channel. And if you're enjoying the show, leave us a rating on your favorite listening app so other Pokemon fans can discover the podcast. Anything else to add, Josh?
I think I've said all I need to say, Jeff.
All right, so please join us next time when we will be watching Misty Meets Her Match.
In a Pokemon world.